Hello everyone, welcome to Nerds in a Box episode 9. Woo! We're very happy to be here again for the 9th episode.
Yes.
We're working on that 3 months.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
We're still in that honeymoon phase.
We are.
So it's okay.
Is that what the honeymoon phase is?
Yeah, it's typically
3
the first
months.
3 months.
Oh.
Come on,
After that
Dan.
is when it all, crashes and burns.
Yeah.
My wife and I have passed 3 months.
Woo!
Way to go.
That's awesome.
Way to go. Alright.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, welcome to episode 9 of Nerds in the Box. If you're joining us for the first time, hello, welcome. I am John Dwyer.
Dan Kiefer.
Tessa Barlotta.
We're Nerds in a Box. We're a weekly podcast where we talk about all things nerdy. Now, in the past week, we've talked about Super Smash Brothers. We've talked about comic book events. And this week, we're going to be talking about Marvel and DC Cinematic Universe events. Earlier this week, Marvel made their announcement about Robert Downey Jr. being in Cap 3. And without any hesitation, the very next day, DC released their entire lineup up to 2020 of their films. So on this list, we have, in 2016, we've got Suicide Squad on August 5th. In 2017, we have, on June 23rd, Wonder Woman. November 17th, Justice League Part 1. That's Justice League Part 1. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit. 2018, we've got The Flash, and they announced that is Ezra Miller from Perks of Being a Wallflower. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And then we've got Aquaman in July, so that's going to be their big summer movie, is Aquaman. And then 2019, we've got Shazam, who has The Rock as the Black Adam.
Yeah,
we don't know who Shazam is yet, but we know who Black Adam is, and that's going to be good. And then later that year, we have Justice League Part 2. So, picking up where Justice League Part 1 picks off. And then in 2020, we've got Cyborg with the recently announced Ray Fisher. They officially confirmed that it's Ray Fisher. He's relatively unknown. And then later that year, Green Lantern. We don't know which Green Lantern. We don't know who. The speculation is that it is going to be Jon Stewart instead of Hal Jordan with the bad taste from the Ryan Reynolds movie.
Poor Ryan Reynolds.
Poor Ryan.
So, let's get started with not even talking about that first. The big news in Batman vs. Superman, the rumor that Jenna Malone from Hunger Games, Catching Fire, that she is going to play she's going to play Robin. We're going to have a female Robin. The rumor is that it is going to be Katie Kelly.
Yeah, from Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, Frank Miller's 1986 comic, Dark Knight Returns. And that's huge. That's a big piece of news.
Big thing. Like, I feel like it's... DC, since they're coming in so late to the game, I think they're trying to fill all the quotas that Marvel hasn't yet, as far as, like, women having bigger roles and like, just people of color in general.
I feel like that's probably one of the best decisions that they've made in a long time. Like we talked about on earlier podcasts, like, their biggest issue is the fact that their characters are so well known, so consumer sculpted, that we all know exactly what we want to see from these characters. This is their first chance to really build a character from the ground up, make them a unique character that we can connect to and enjoy without having it being one of, like, the primaries.
Yeah,
like,
without,
one of the
like,
big...
a truckload of expectations coming up behind.
Exactly.
And that's great. That's what's brilliant about it being Jenna Malone, is because it's Jenna Malone. She's brilliant, and she's wonderful and everything. So I feel like even if they're not quite sure of how to write her, I feel like she could take it the next step. So even if Ben Affleck can't pull it off as Batman, we'll be able to wait for Robin to run in and save him.
I have the utmost faith in Ben Affleck.
I hope so.
He does really well. I guess maybe he really only does really well when he directs and acts. But
exactly.
But no, like, especially with the most recent movies
Gone
that
Girl.
They've been
He's
doing
great
really
Gone
well.
Girl, Argo. I mean,
yeah, Argo is great.
Like, yeah, he'll be fine. I'm more interested to see how it'll actually play out, because I don't know if it'll... I mean, it's Batman vs. Superman. It's obviously going to make a lot of money. I don't know if, like, having, like, a female Robin could actually impact people's decision to see it.
I think so.
I think it could.
Well, like, you're talking about her fan base. That, like, not only was an idea of casting a female Robin a good idea, casting an unknown Robin, moderately unknown Robin, as a good idea, because then they don't have to worry about the creation aspect. But they're also picking somebody that has a pre-built fan base, that even if, like, it's gonna get more females to see it. Yeah. A lot of girls that loved Catching Fire, that loved her in it, they're gonna go see it.
Which is
because
awesome.
exactly, and that expands their horizons. Their casting calls right now are a good call. I'm still very skeptical about how everything's going to play out, just because of their past endeavors, their past trials.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time they've tried to do a Justice League setup. I think that they're backed so much into the corner because of how Marvel's doing, that they're like, alright, this is our plan. Get a big bunch of hype about it. But if one of these falls flat, are they going to keep pushing through? Do they have the financials to trudge through it? Are they going to have to take back movies? What if one of these gets canceled? Are they going to start more speculation on other movies? There's a whole lot of things that still need to happen for me to put my faith back in the DC movies.
I'm hoping this lineup, because I mean it spaces them out to 2020. I'm hoping it's showing them sort of slowing down a little bit. As much as Justice League Part 1 and Part 2 alarmed me a little bit, that's all I've ever wanted from them, is to just be slow down. It's okay. We are patient. We're willing to wait forever for you to build up the story that you feel will be good enough to carry over on the silver screen.
Going away from that, Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Suicide Squad's interesting because we already have potential casting news for it. Ryan Gosling, Tom Hardy, Will Smith, Margot Robbie. These are all the big names that have been rumored to be attached to this film. And this could be huge. Apparently, I was reading an article by Matt Goldberg. I believe it's The Collider, his website. Apparently, who is it? Tom Hardy and Will Smith are close to signing, and Margot Robbie is looking likely. Right now, the rumored cast is Deadshot, Harkness, Vixen, Blockbuster, Multiplex, Jaculi, and Mindblogger. So, the most popular iterations of Suicide Squad have had Harley Quinn in it, but it looks like she may not be the case here. So Margot Robbie would be a completely different character, and not Harley Quinn. So...
Which I feel like makes sense if you don't have a Batman movie to introduce her. It would just kind of feel wrong if she was just thrown
exactly.
in there.
Unless it was a Harley Quinn origin story kind of thing.
Which they also could do later. If Suicide Squad knocks it out of the park,
they could totally do.
They could totally have her origin as part of a Suicide Squad thing.
Absolutely.
Where they have to maybe break into Arkham to get her out to do whatever.
Exactly. I mean, it's worth noting that for Deadshot, Harkness, and Vixen are looking to be the leaders of the group. Moving on, Ezra Miller as the Flash was probably bigger than Ray Fisher Cyborg, but Ezra Miller we'll talk about first. We didn't know who was going to be the Flash. We still didn't know 100%.
Although they did say that it wasn't going to be their TV people.
Worst decision ever.
I know.
Flash TV and Green Arrow, or not Green Arrow, but Arrow, their fan base is so strong. The Flash TV show, doing incredibly well. And they're like, no. And we rant all we want, but we also don't necessarily know the legal situation between DC and CW.
It can be really tricky.
Because CW could be like, yeah, these shows are doing really well. You're right, they would be great in movies. Let's talk money. And DC's like, what do you want us to do?
We're not backed by the Skynet conglomerate Disney. We don't just throw everything at you.
Exactly. So that could be a huge factor that everybody seems to be overlooking, including us.
Yeah, exactly. Ezra Miller, though, perks of being a wallflower. I don't know enough about him to really make a judgment call.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in Perks of Being a Wallflower, but that's really the only thing I've seen him in personally.
I'm kind of bummed about it. They could have got. I don't know. I feel like they could have gotten somebody huge for it. Going away from what I want. We're going to talk about the second casting choice. Not that I don't want Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Now that I said
what
that,
do you not
that's poor
want?
wording. Ray Fisher as Cyborg. He's relatively unknown. He's done a few stage things. Other than that,
he was in a short in 2008, and then I guess he was on stage as Muhammad Ali, and he got a bunch of good reviews for that.
Which if you're Muhammad Ali on Broadway, that shows you're muscular. You got some athleticism.
You can pull off some Cyborg.
Yeah, no, I feel like that'd be pretty good.
I feel like you're just making up reasons for
No, I honestly Especially, like, if you think about, like, the physique and stuff, like, that'll definitely help. If you're a stage actor, you're kind of into, like, knowing how to, like, act big. Because you're on a stage. And, like, we know that.
That one makes more sense.
In
I was
Cyborg,
going to say, anyone can get buff for a movie, Dan.
But in Cyborg, is very larger than life.
He is.
Yeah, true. Muhammad Ali and Cyborg have similar personality
And especially when half his face is metal, you need somebody who can
express
beautifully.
Yeah. Marvel, the day before DC, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in Captain America 3 in a prominent role. The probable 2 storylines, it's not confirmed yet, but it looks like it's either going to be Civil War or Fallen Sun. Civil War is huge. That's already been speculated for long before this. I remember, there were rumors that they were going to do Civil War starting with the Avengers. Like, once the Avengers came out, everyone thought that, they're going to go to Civil War because of that whole scene in the movie where Steve saves all these people and he gets his mask pulled off and he's looking around and everybody sees his face. Like, everybody thought that this is where they're going. And we've seen fan-made posters for it. Yep. There's a really good one that we'll put up. It's got Chris Evans on one side, Robert Downey Jr. on one side, and it says, "Whose side are you on?"
Which was their tagline for the series.
Yes, and we've seen the rumblings with that, with starting with Iron Man, with Iron Man 2 actually, with the government trying to get Tony's technology. That follows with. Still more with Iron Man 3.
And then in Captain America 2, when they tear down S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're like, well, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Cap,
if
Avengers,
Ultron,
Avengers was also another big one because you had the government questioning everybody. Cap 2 obviously had a huge shake-up. So it seems like this is where they're logically going.
And I feel like if you reach the end, after Avengers 2 and like, okay, we tried the superheroes and they did okay, and then but we still don't trust them, and then they dismantled S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, so we're going to try these robots with Ultron, and then they're of course going to fail. What is left but to just be like, okay, we're stuck with the superheroes, but at least we can try and control them. It's just a natural progression.
What they've been doing really well, and I hope that this is what they do with Civil War, is make it more of an episodic arc.
That would be
like
better.
Started in Captain America 3. Move it through Avengers 2, through the next couple movies. Like, the entire Avengers movie was built up through the primary movies. Like, through Thor, The Incredible Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man. All of those movies had the underlying story arc of Avengers Assembles. That's all they need to do with Civil War. Build it up till either Avengers 3 or even maybe like an Avengers 4.
I feel like that would almost be better if they waited, because they're just the Civil War. It had such a build up. There was such a progression of back and forth before they were finally like, screw it, we're at war. Like, and even the war portion was like drawn out over time. So,
like, could you imagine if, like, let's say they do the second Avengers movie, and it ends with the announcement of the Superhero Registration Act. That's why when, like, movies like Ant-Man, you would have those characters that, the one reason why he's a thief is because he doesn't want to go through the Registration Act. So he's doing all of these things outside of the law, making him a criminal, but he's still Ant-Man. You have all of this potential without actually having them go to war. You just have this inner frustration, this inner fighting, and then Avengers 4, Avengers 3, or whatever you want to do, that's when all hell breaks loose.
I also heard rumors when this came out that if they couldn't get Spider-Man, Iron Patriot would be the role of Spider-Man. No one's really, like, thrilled about that, but it's like, I can see it.
I can see it. The thing about Peter Parker, it's not, I think Don Cheadle could pull it off no matter what happens. It's just that Peter Parker, it's one of my favorite lines from Civil War, is Cap says to Iron Man, why are you torturing Peter this way? He wears his need for a father figure on his sleeve, which is what defines Peter Parker. And Iron Patriot doesn't have that. He has his, like, torn feelings to his country, like, which is why he would be, if they have to replace him, he would be a good one, because he does love Tony and care about Tony, but he also cares about, freedom and the American people. So that would make sense. I also think it's going to depend on how they play out because Iron Patriot's going to be in Avengers 2.
Yep.
If he grows to care for Cap and see how Captain America is and all that, then it might be just an absolutely brilliant choice.
Doctor Strange.
Still up in the air, though.
No one
it's not
knows
Joaquin anymore.
I've never seen so many rumored people for a single
Such
character
a wide breadth
in
of
my
people.
life.
Everyone from Ewan McGregor.
It's not
to...
Oded Fair. It's not
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. We don't know if it's Ewan McGregor. The
Keanu
rumor
Reeves.
now is Keanu Reeves, Benedict Cumberbatch, and
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Thank you. And apparently Jared Leto is still in talks.
What?
I also heard
I didn't hear that.
I also heard Matthew McConaughey.
Oh god.
Matthew McConaughey has been listed
Oh my
as
god.
potentials.
Oh my
What?
God. I just want them to throw a big bag of money at Oded Fair. Just be like, please.
He'd be great.
And there's a Hawkeye movie confirmed.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Hawkeye movie's confirmed.
Hawkeye
and
movie.
it's going to be based on Matt Fraction's run of Hawkeye, which is...
Oh, that is confirmed. It's
Yes.
Matt Fraction.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
And a Black Widow movie is officially listed on IMDb.
So
It hasn't-
that's not confirmation.
No, but it's there. And
wait,
I'm gonna
hang
hold
on.
to it.
Isn't in Matt Fraction's run? Isn't he deaf?
Eventually.
Okay,
It
cool.
doesn't start out.
Okay, cool.
But
Okay,
I think
cool.
that'd be interesting too.
All right, Tessa. So the awesome box. The awesome box this week.
The Awesome Boss this week. At Coliseum, we had the Woman of Wonder charity event where the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, through a big silent auction, just benefit a local women's shelter here in Orlando. And there was a whole bunch of artists and face painting and all this stuff. And one of the artists there gave me this awesome Wonder Woman picture. So, shout out to Gray Hollow for being awesome.
Yep.
And I'm gonna post he has a Facebook page, and I'm gonna post that information below this video. So, check out his stuff.
That's awesome, guys.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And for people that are listening on our
Oh,
podcast,
it's a beautiful Wonder Woman picture, and she's holding up the lasso, and she's looking really tough, and she's not super sexualized, at least not more than normal.
yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But we'll post a picture of it on our Facebook as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no problem.
listeners.
I just thought about this. Like, check out this, and they're just like, I can't see
Oh
it.
man,
What does it
sweet.
look like?
Check out what? Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Yeah, sweet. Good awesome box.
Mhm.
Way to go. Sweet. All right. So I think that being said, are we all
I do believe so.
You're all good.
we're all good? All right. So that has been our entire episode of Nerds in a Box. Thank you so much, guys, for everything, for being really awesome, for being supportive of us. I believe right now we're up to, according to my phone, 919 likes.
So we're getting really close to 1,000.
We're getting really close to 1,000. Like we said, when we hit 1,000, we'll let you guys decide what we do.
Within reason.
Within reason.
And within budgetary restraints.
Yes.
Well,
So
theoretically.
we're going to do that. If you're watching this podcast for the first time, follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Pocket Casts. I think that's it for now.
Do you say
Yes.
YouTube, Facebook?
Oh, no. Well, I mean, if they're watching it through Facebook.
I mean, if they're not.
So, yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. We also have a Facebook. Hit us up there. I believe we are also going to do some kind of Halloween thing.
Yes. For
In a few
Halloween, we will
weeks.
be doing a little
Surprise.
surprise stuff.
Yes.
It's a surprise, John.
Yes. It's a surprise.
You know what it is.
So, it's not Five Nights at Freddy's. We're not doing that.
Unless somebody asks us to do Five Nights at Freddy's, we will not do Five Nights at
If you
Freddy's.
keep asking, of course it's gonna happen.
I want to see him do Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm not doing it.
Tessa is.
Oh, okay. Well, I can handle that.
Yeah.
What is? I don't have any
Okay.
gaming system, so I can't do anything.
No, you have your iPad. You can get on the iPad. That's...
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Oh, whoops.
I don't know if I can do this. This is
Anyway.
terrible.
So, follow us there. Stay tuned for the next few weeks. We got fun stuff. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for just being really awesome.
You guys are great.
Yep, you guys are great.
Mhm.
So, on that note, have a great night, everyone. I'm John Dwyer.
Dan Kiefer.
Tessa Barlotta.
We're Nerds in a Box. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.
Just realized, like, the SoundCloud people never see us wave.
Oh, we wave to you, SoundCloud people.